So what's the plan for today then?
So today we're on a rooftop in East London and we're going to be shooting some parkour and movement action photography basically. We've got an athlete, Daniel Elabaka, come down and join us, who's one of my favourite athletes to work with. So we're going to be capturing whatever we can around here and maybe some portraits, maybe explore some rooftops and just see how we go.
And as for object project trainers, how are you going to interpret that?
So I want to interpret the brief of the trainers as the way that we use trainers to interface with the rest of the world. Obviously, between every parkour athlete and the world around them, they have a pair of trainers on. So I want to show that what trainers can let us achieve through movement and focus on that as much as the trainers themselves.
So in terms of working with the spaces here, are there any kind of shots that jump out to you?
Yeah, so when we first got here, I said to Daniel straight away, there's a nice jump actually from here across to the other side, which I think is going to be really nice. We might go and shoot it down from the street level below. So
if that's the sort of space that Scott's interested in, how do you feel about that then?
Yeah, I think it's really good. I agree with Scott. At the moment we arrived, it's the first thing that I noticed. I think the most important thing is just checking out the corner, because sometimes on buildings you may find loose bricks in various areas. So it's essential just to check your takeoff before any sort of jump.
What was the point at which parkour became something that you actually made the subject of your images and you kind of brought photography into that?
When I was practicing parkour in the first place, I kind of saw people taking pictures of parkour and making videos and stuff of their friends on YouTube, and at that point even there wasn't YouTube. You had to go on forums and download the video to watch people doing parkour. So we, some of the guys up in Sheffield were doing something cool. We'd have to go and download their videos from some sketchy site to watch them. And at the time where I lived in Cambridge, there was also people doing good stuff. So I thought I should film some of this and share that with the community as well.
So when did kind of Instagram come into this story?
For me, I like to, if I have an image that I think is absolutely cracking and I want to just be like, look at this image, I'm going to put this out there, Instagram is the way I can reach the most people with that image out of all the platforms that I have.
And how did you find interpreting the object project brief today then?
We definitely hit certain images that showed the trainers in a way they're being moved. I think when you're shooting parkour in general, there's certain positions which I would class as like the most beautiful positions of a movement, and there's certain parts of the body where if they're extended or they're contracted, it will look better. So you kind of get this kind of idea when shooting parkour, which are the best moments to capture in a jump.
So for somebody who might think about entering the project, what kind of tips would you give to them about approaching photographing an item like trainers?
I'd probably say you don't have to shoot action, you don't have to go out and jump off buildings, obviously stay within your abilities, but if you want to try some movement and you can jump on the spot and strike a cool pose and it looks like you're levitating, these are all things that are really good. And equally, if you want to focus on the product more, you can hold a pair of shoes in your hand and throw them in the air, and then they'll look like they're levitating in front of you as well. There's all kind of nice ways you can play with the fact that a trainer is an active thing that you would use, and it allows you to do different movements and jumps, and the trainer itself can also be moved and be jumping. If you want to throw it around or hang it off something, or there's lots of things you can do. So I wouldn't focus too much on just capturing action, it's more about capturing something with energy in the image.
So when it comes to judging the project, what do you think you're going to be looking for in the winner?
So I think I'm going to be looking for someone that's got good use of shapes and composition, ideally some kind of strong lines and very graphic imagery, something that's very clear with what they're doing. It doesn't necessarily have to be colour or black and white, you can choose, but with my stuff I always like to see strong tones and very obvious kind of separation between maybe a subject and a background, or light and dark, or various colours. So something that's visually striking and is obvious that you can kind of work out what it is quite quickly, but then you can see the details as you spend more time looking at the image.